Hi, it's Ben Avis again. I'm here at Tecumseh High School in Tecumseh, Michigan, and I'm here to talk about my bright idea number two. Um, my bright idea number two is based on the fact that education is evolving, and it's been evolving for quite some time, in my opinion. And there's so much that has changed in education as far as uh, the standards we use, the practices we have, how we interact with our students, how teachers interact with each other, how neighboring districts interact with ISDs and each other. And so much in education has changed over the course of America. Yet the only thing that hasn't is the calendar that we use. We use the same calendar that was set up back in the 1900s, where we go to school for 9 months and then we take 3 months off. Uh, in my opinion, that just doesn't work anymore. But I know what a daunting task it can be to go through that whole process to change it. But it's with that mindset that I had that I decided how to best create bright idea number two and work with students at home. And my opinion is that's the time we don't see them the most. We see them all the time during the school year. We don't see those students during the summer. We don't have interactions with those families during the summer. And that's when we really need to reach out and really need to help students. So my bright idea number two is to set up customized courses in our virtual and online providers for our virtual academy that will help students bridge any learning gaps that they had throughout the year. Essentially, what I would like to do is take students that maybe they want to improve their SAT score, or maybe they passed geometry but barely passed geometry and they still need help on a lot of the concepts. I'd like to sit down with myself being the homebound provider, our principal, our virtual academy director. We get maybe a classroom teacher in there along with the parents and the student, and we essentially just set up a course based on what they need, based on what they struggled with during the school year. And then over the course of the summer, they could work on that at home from going at their own pace. They wouldn't have to be rushed through a lesson that they don't quite understand, and they wouldn't have to sit around and wait for a lesson that they understand and they can gather knowledge quickly on. So that's kind of my bright idea number one, is I'd like to set up virtual classrooms and virtual lessons for students that are struggling with with certain areas of academic need, and so they can close the gap with their other peers. As the homebound provider, I would meet with those families at least once a week, sometimes twice, and meet with them for at least 30 minutes, but no more than 60 or 90 minutes, just to sit down with them and ask how it's going, help the student obviously if they have any academic struggles. But basically I would want to just sit down with the family and say what's going good, what's going bad, and how can I help you. What can I do to provide better service for you. As far as implementation goes, there's a lot of planning that would go into this, a lot of meeting times. So for year one, I would want to choose maybe 15 to 20 special education students, because we have a wonderful special education department here, and as I'm sure many of you do, and they do a lot as far as tracking the students' grades and what they're doing well on, what they're not doing well on, and we can sit down with these classroom teachers like, hey, little Johnny's grade dipped in December. What conceptually were you working on in December? And then we can set up these online tutorials that the family can work on together at their own pace when it's convenient for them. Have a meeting with me set up. It'd be a weekly meeting and it'd be set in advance, but they could set the time that we would meet, so it would be at their convenience. And basically we're trying to reach out to the families and trying to help them come together with the school in order to help better serve the student. So that's my bright idea number 2. If anybody has any feedback for me, I'd love to hear it. Thank you for your time.